Every one of you, thank you so much once again for choosing to spend your Friday evening with us. And I am so thrilled to see the commitment from all of you, that a lot of you joined in before time, and I was so happy to see that. Now, there is one commitment that I would like to give in from our end as well, that we will just not intend to make the session informative, but we will ensure that it is equally interesting, it is equally insightful, and you leave the session with clarity is what our objective is. And there is so much of value that has been packed into the session today. I am already feeling that we'll be short on time. So, without literally any further ado, I just hope whatever we have planned in the session, through which we'll be able to give in maximum input, maximum value add, maximum knowledge from our side. We hope we are able to deliver that, we are able to do justice on that, and I will look forward to support and cooperation from all of you. All right. Now, we are here to discuss about the career counseling industry as a whole, which is right now reached its booming 5,000 crore mark as an industry market value. So it's no more an upcoming or an evolving or an emerging field that we're talking about. It's a pretty stable, evolved industry that we're looking at. And we are also looking at what opportunities this industry holds for those professionals who just does not have passion, but they also have the interest to contribute in the form of being a career counselor. So for those of you who are joining new into the industry, what's in it for them? And in the session also, what we have planned for all of you today is to see that how the national education policy, that I'm sure a lot of you are aware of, that we had national education policy, which has been a game changer, revolutionary policy to change our education system in India. And whenever there is a change in education, it automatically has an impact on career. So this becomes highly relevant for all of us today. Also, since a lot of you come here from a very diverse professional background, we will also try and see that once we professionally get into career counseling, how do professionals approach career counseling? So we will be learning that as well in the session today. And this is one of our most awaited segment, because a lot of questions have been received on the business market strategy front, market scope front. So we will be covering as to what the career counseling business holds when it comes to its market potential. So there's a lot that we have here for you to share with you. So let's start right in. Next slide, please. Okay, so let me at least introduce myself. I'm going to be your host as well as the speaker for the session today. My name is Fatima. Some of you who've joined the session today have interacted with me in these past few weeks, and we've been in touch for quite some time. So by profession, I am a psychologist, and it's been over 9 years I am associated with Edu Milestones. In the capacity of research and development, in the capacity of training, in the capacity of business management, and currently I am serving as the Vice President here at Edu Milestone. So one of my prime responsibilities, apart from being a support and consultant to our career counselors, I also look at the global expansion of the Certified Career Analyst program here. So that's a little about me. We'll be interacting more very soon. Next slide, please. Okay, these are some extremely quick reminders and instructions for all of us. All right. We have all used the chat box, so continue to use that because a lot of our communication is going to happen through the chat. In fact, all of your questions are also going to be applicable in the chat itself. There is a specific Q&A segment. So please ensure that any questions that you have for us, you put it up in the Q&A segment, because there will be a dedicated Q&A segment as well Plus, there is a dedicated team resource, Kavya, from Team Edu Milestones, who will be monitoring and ensuring that all the questions from the Q&A are picked up and we are able to moderate them during a Q&A. All right. Now, those of you who've joined in from laptop, just do a double click and you will go full screen for optimum experience. And if you're on phone, anyone who's joined here from phone, you can tilt to the landscape mode and I'm sure you'll have a better experience. All right. Next slide, please. Okay. I'll give you a very quick introduction about us as an organization, because a lot of you joined here may not know us completely. So I do a very, very quick run on the introduction. So we are an organization based out of Bangalore. All right. We incorporated in the year 2010. And the Certified Career Analyst program, which is one of our flagship programs here at Edu Milestones, to ensure someone is able to professionally start their setup in career counseling, was started in the year 2015 officially. So far, we have around 4,200 plus counselors trained, out of which more than 2,500 are actively practicing as career counselors using the ecosystem that we provide to all of our counselors. Our counselors have so far done 4 lakh plus counselings so far. And as a part of the CCA, that is the Certified Career Analyst program, we have spent more than 2 lakh 50 plus live hours of training. And more than that, 3 to 4 times of time has been spent into one-on-one supervisions with each and every counselor under the CCA training program, which is approximately 9 lakh hours until now. So as of now, we have our counselors who've been trained under the CCA program across 100 plus cities in India and total of 29 countries abroad. Next slide, please. You will be able to see our expansion into the number of countries where we are present here. Right from extreme, you have Canada, and to your extreme other side, you have Australia. You have a big cluster in the Asian segment, a lot of that in the African continent, as well as in the Middle East as well. And of course, a lot of other places like, Spain, Italy, UK, Singapore, we have been there as well. So we are not just looking at expanding to more and more countries. We are also looking at increasing the number of career counselors in those given countries as well. All right. Next slide, please. So this is a quick run through of what our journey has been from the time we started our vision of not just ensuring that every student is, every student is now equipped with career counseling, but at the same time, we were also, our bigger vision was to ensure that we are able to have maximum number of quality career counselors in India, because only once we have more and more pool of career counselors, quality pool of trained professional career counselors who are well equipped, well trained, well supervised, that's when the global need, the national need of India, where more and more students can now have access to career counseling, can be met very easily. So that's the different milestones that we've been able to achieve, with the latest one being in the 2023 year. Very, very recently, we also got awarded as the best career counseling platform by Education Innovation Awards 2023. Next slide, please. Now, this has been a very significant achievement last year, where the government of Bikaner had approached Edu Milestones to have a mega career counseling for the entire state. And we had more than 200 plus certified career analysts who have been trained under this program, were actively a part of this particular national level project. Next slide, please. You will be able to see how this entire project was executed so effectively, and major credit goes to our certified career analysts who were a part of this project. And we were able to reach to more than 1.5 lakh students across 1,000 plus public and private schools of Bikaner. Next slide, please. So this was the recent achievement that I was talking to you about in the year 2023 itself, where we received the award for the best career planning platform, which is used by thousands of career counselors across countries. Next slide, please. Great. Now, before we move into understanding the impact of career counseling, we also need to understand how National Education Policy 2020, which came up in the year, of course, in the month of July in 2020, if I'm not wrong, that had a very heavy emphasis on career counseling. Now, before we understand why there is a heavy emphasis and what is the exact emphasis within the NEP policy for career counseling, let's take a step back, because a lot of us come here from a very diverse educational as well as industry experience. Let's get everyone on the same page first to understand as to why first there is a need for counseling as we speak right now. We do understand that yes, career counseling is important, but why it has converted into an urgent need as we speak now? And one of the three main reasons are that there have been extremely dynamic and varied choices of different campuses, careers, courses, options which are now available not just in India, but also abroad. The way the new age careers have been coming in, the way our conventional career paths have gone obsolete, all of this has resulted into, of course, a very good thing where we have multiple options for students and professionals to choose from. There is an opportunity for them to define the career life the way they want. But at the same time, every coin has two sides. So with more and more number of options, we also had increasing number of confusions among these exact students and professionals. That's when the need for career counseling came and became very, very predominant, mostly because the way artificial intelligence is, the way it has penetrated into industries, there is a very high level of certainty as well as uncertainty as to how it is going to evolve every careers and every industries. The way globalization picked up in the last decade, that in itself has brought in so much of variation and diversification amongst different industries, different careers, different profiles. And COVID, all of us have been a first-hand witness when COVID struck. And one of the major impact, apart from health, the second direct impact COVID had was on the careers of each and every one of us who are present here. So imagine the ones who have not even started their career. What is the state of mind for them, where there are so many sudden changes that has happened as a part of national epidemic as well. So these have been certain major reasons as to why the level of confusion is not just increasing, but it is also getting deeper and deeper. And with confusion, any wrong choice taken, then we know that it's very difficult to track back and then take the right steps. So one of the best ways forward is to start early and plan early with the help of the professional. And who better than a career counselor who can professionally help someone move from confusion to clarity. Next slide, please. Now, while we look at the urgent need for career counselors, we also need to understand that career counseling by itself is not going to solve problems, right? Right now, we're only looking at the demand. But for every demand to be catered to, we also need to look at the supply. And who's our supply, who's our resources here? Then we're talking about the career counselors themselves. Now, there was this study that was published, a research that was published by Padma Shri holder Dr. Manindra Agarwal, who did a research with students from 9th to 12th, and He's of course a professor from computer science and engineering at IIT Kanpur, and his conclusion said that about 75% of the students may be getting misguided in making subject and higher education choices. Again, as the number of choices increases, the confusion also simultaneously increases. And this gap needs to be addressed urgently so that students seek and access guidance of skilled, knowledgeable, and experienced career counselors to make informed choices. I'm very happy that Dr. Manindra used the word helping students make informed choices for more meaningful and fulfilling life ahead. At the end, when we are choosing an education, when we are choosing a career, we're choosing that not just for financial stability, but also for a very meaningful and a fulfilling life. So if we have more and more trained, skilled career counselors, we'll have more and more people living more meaningful, more fulfilled lives as well. Next slide, please. All right. Abhishek, can you pull down the screen share from your end? I'll do the screen share at my end. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Is my screen up for everyone? Abhishek, can you confirm?
It was not up yet.
Not yet?
No.
Okay. Just let me know once it's up, or if someone from the audience can confirm.
Is it loading?
It's already up from my side.
Yes. Now it's showing.
Okay. Okay, super. So I hope the screen is visible for everyone. All right. Now, one of the major reasons why there is an urgent need for not just career counseling, there is also an urgent need for career counselors as well. Now, one of the good things that we have as an industry is to practice career counseling, one does not require to have necessary a psychology background or a psychology degree. So this is one such branch that can embrace individuals and professions from different backgrounds as well. And once they are trained, even they can become career counselors. And we all know that the current market size of the career assessment and guidance itself is estimated at over 5,000 crores. And this has been a report coming from the Ministry of HRD itself, which is Government of India Human Resource Development, as per their ENY report on K-12. So it's not just increasing demand and increasing need, but it is also an increased market size and market capacity for career counselors as well. Now, there is another publication and research that was published in India today that again highlighted that 85% students are confused among different courses and career options for higher education. Again, time and over again, we have been understanding that with increased choices, there is only an increase in more confusion as well. Also, if we look at currently in the industry, we have a lot of career counselors, but often people confuse or they get, they interchangeably, instead of meeting with a career counselor, they happen to get in touch with an admission counselor. And it's very important to understand that these two are very, very separate profiles. While we might have a lot of admission counselors who might help you with the admission process for whether college is in India or abroad, a career counselor's role is very different, where it helps you make informed career choices for yourself. Also, globally, if you see one particular, theoretical framework and practical model that has been applied throughout counselors globally is the John Holland's interest inventory, which is used globally. So while we need more and more career counselors, one of the most established and highly used inventory in career counseling, the framework that is used in career counseling, is the interest inventory. Also, the Hindu published in 2016 that 92% of the students don't even get career counseling at school. So you can imagine that, of course, with the Plan 6 and Plan 7 of education, there are more and more school counselors, but again, we don't have enough school counselors at schools, and only 1 to 2% of the school counselors are actually equipped and trained to do career counseling at their school. So this number, even from 2016, has not drastically reduced even till date. Now, India today again published a very heart-numbing number that as a country we need 1.4 million career counselors. So that's where we get our answer. That when we talk about urgent need for career counselors, so that students are able to get career counseling, how many career counselors are we talking about? We are right now talking about an estimated 1.4 million career counselors. And the shocking news is India doesn't have enough career counselors even as we speak. There are an approximately 20 to maximum 25,000 professionally trained, qualified career counselors who are doing and giving career counseling as we speak. So, of course, there is a high need in millions for career counselors, but even more, the demand for career counseling is right now at 350 million students that we're talking about. So we can imagine that if we need to have a very stable demand and a supply ratio for 350 million students, we at least need 1.4 to 1.5 million career counselors. And currently, how much are we at? We're only at 20 to 25,000 career counselors. And this student population is not going to go down. This is only going to increase in every academic year because we'll have more and more students passing from the previous grade to the next grade. Also, by the Daily Chronicle, have said that by 2025, that is in just a couple of years, career counseling industry is set to see a huge growth by 2025. So the National Education Policy and the article or both were published in 2020. So you will be able to see a very strong correlation between how this industry, how this profession is going to amplify 10 notches and how the National Education Policy is going to have its impact. Also, another study published that 93% of the students aged 14 to 21 were just aware of 7 career options. You would be surprised to know that there are more than 250 plus career options, 3,000 plus occupations available. And currently, when we ask any students or parents, they are hardly aware of 7 to maximum 15 careers. While there are so many options lying out there, they are confused between, just few options, and they make a choice based on that. And there was a time career counseling was only restricted to students. Career counseling was only restricted to a timeline after board exams, but that was all, 6-7 years ago. Now counseling happens all year round, because you have students from different grades coming in for career counseling, and you have a lot of graduates, working professionals who can again come to you at year round. So the Statesman published that career counseling is no more seasonal, and there is a rising need of career counselors for working professionals as well. And the last point, which again emphasizes and again hammers on the point that why we need more career counselors, that is the National Education Policy 2020 itself. So we'll dive into that policy right away to understand how it is going to leave an impact on us as a community, on us as an industry. Before that, I have a poll for everyone. So there will be a first poll. Abhishek will put up the first poll on screen. Abhishek, let me know once the poll is up. and you will be able to see the question right in front of you, and feel free to share what is your answer and opinion on the same through the poll.
The poll is up.
Great.
People are already
So the poll is right in
selected.
front of you. Sorry?
People are already opting.
Super. So let us know that when we're talking about the national education policy, how many of you are aware and have read the national education policy? And we can take another 5 to 6 more seconds and we can stop the poll, and you can help me understand what has been the response. Great. So we can stop the poll, Manish. Abhishek, sorry. Okay. So we have good number of them who have mentioned that they have read the policy fully. That's around 20% of you. That's superb. And we have 35% who says, I don't have the policy document. Please go on Google, just put National Education Policy 2020. You will see the government's link right there, and you can download the PDF. It's a 60 pages policy. Very interesting to read. So please grab your hands on that. Otherwise, just get in touch with us and we can share the policy document with you. And we have 44% of you, which is the maximum chunk here, who might have access, but they have not completely read or either understood the national education policy. Super. So let's get into the next slide and let's talk about how NEP is going to impact our academic structure and how this impact in academic structure is going to impact the need for career counseling for these students as well. Now, I'm sure all of you would be aware. If not, the academic structure as proposed by NEP is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Earlier, it was, as in until now, it is 10 plus 2 plus 3 is what we follow. Now we will have 5 years, which will be considered as the foundational stage. So all of your, students and children with 5-6 years and younger than that will be a part of Anganwadis or preschools or class 1, class 2. So you will have 5 years purely on the foundational stage as a part of their academic journey. After which we will have another 3 years, which will be called as the preparatory stage. This is specifically for students 3 to standard 5. So you will have these 3 years, which will be considered as the preparatory stages for all these children. After then comes the most important critical stage for the child as a part of their education journey as per NEP. That will be the middle stage. That will be for classes 6 to 8. Currently, I think 6 to 8 is generally called as middle secondary or higher secondary in some of the boards. But now it will be the middle stage, which will be for 3 years again for 6 to 8. And this is when a lot of vocational courses, vocational choices, skill-based options will be injected into the academic structure right at the middle stage. All right. And then you have your secondary stage. Again, 4 years of secondary stage, which will be from 9th till 12th, which is when the students will continue to explore on different courses, different curriculum options that are available to them. Also, they will be exposed to different skills through which they can get exposed to different career fields. And this is when they will choose their subjects as well as streams. So in this 4 years of secondary stage is how the academic structure is going to impact for classes 9 to 12. So we have the foundational stage, we have the preparatory stage for 3 years, we have the middle stage for 3 years, and then you have your secondary stage for 4 years. I'll just take a step ahead that there is going to be your college duration again, which will be for 4 years, which is currently for 3 years. So the student can opt out at the first year of graduation. They can exit at the second year of graduation. So if they exit by the first year, they get awarded with a certification. If they exit in the second year of graduation, they will be awarded with a diploma. If they exit the graduation at the third year of their graduation, they will be awarded with a degree. And if they exit the entire graduation, which will be for 4 years, and if they complete those 4 years, they will be considered as honor students. So I have also helped you understand that how the impact, the structure is going to change at school, where the vocational courses and skill-based options are going to get injected at the school level, and how it is going to impact at the 4 years of college as well, which is right now 3 years graduation and 2 years post-graduation. Now, there is another poll. Can we have the second poll, please? Okay. Now, considering this academic structure, do you think that NEP 2020 will change the landscape for career counselors? Do you think it will make a difference? It will not make a difference, or is going to change the landscape altogether? What is your opinion? We will have this poll for another 8 to 10 seconds. I would request everyone to quickly put in your opinion through the vote. So at the count of 10, Abhishek, please publish the poll results as well. Great. So we have around 71% of us who says, yes, it is going to change the landscape completely for career counselors. We have 1% who says no, and then we have 26% who feels that maybe it might change the landscape. Let's try to understand how NEP is going to impact career counseling as an industry, career counseling as a profession, and career counseling as a profile as well. Okay. Now, as per the policy, NEP will be adding an impact, because in the longer term, the state governments they will be preparing, segments. They will be preparing groups of professionally qualified educators who would be there for mentoring as well as for career mapping for students at the school stage itself. They will also be involved into making a community which will have a lot of professionals and alumni, and they would be building that community to provide learning opportunities, enhancing learning at the school level, at the same time also providing one-to-one tutoring, career guidance, and again mentoring to students as well. So there will be professional segments which will be created. There will also be a community which will be created of professionals, so that one-on-one guidance and tutoring can be made available. Now, there is also a high need and an understanding for an AI-based software which could be developed so that it can be used by the students, where they are able to track their own growth at the school years, right? So the way the assessments and the way the mapping and grading, everything is going to be impacted. And this will give a lot of key insights and valuable inputs and information on the strength and the areas of interest for the student, because now we are using AI-based solutions to understand the growth of the student, to track the growth of the student, which will automatically give us a very deep insight on what are their areas of interest, what are their areas of strength, which are the areas that needs focus, and also there will be complete help available for them to make optimal career choices as well. All of this is as per the policy of NEP 2020. In fact, every state will also establish Bal Bhavans where children of all ages they can come and visit, and there will be a lot of exposure related activities and events on art, on career related, on play related activities, which will again add to first hand exposure to how that particular profile or that career is going to look like for them. So these Bal Bhavans are also going to play a very important role in shaping the careers for our students as well. In fact, if you look at universities and colleges, there will be professional, academic, and career counseling which will be available to all the students, as well as there will be counselors, mental health counselors, and psychologists who will be made available to ensure that there is support provided on physical, psychological, and emotional well-being as well. So NEP is not just targeting education and the way it is going to shape careers for our students. It is also looking at the holistic well-being of the students at the college, university, school campuses itself. Now, the policy also has a vision for a comprehensive approach where they would be transforming the way research is happening in India from both qualitative and quantitative point of view. Now, what happens is this will also include career counseling in schools towards identifying, based on these researches, based on this qualitative and quantitative output, we will now be able to understand the students' interests, what their talents are, and we will also be able to promote more research experience. We'll be able to provide more research-based opportunities, field-based experiences, internships at the undergraduate curriculum as well. So the way research is now going to be looked at will also have a direct impact on opportunities. At the same time, it will have an impact the way we will have a better understanding of the students' interest and their talents as well. So these are some very significant snippets that we have taken from the policy, which we found will definitely add a lot of value to career counselors, but this is something that we also wanted to share with you. So we as a community are also well versed and well aware as to how the national education policy is going to make a difference for us as well. Now, before we move into the next segment, we have the third poll for everyone. Abhishek, can we have the third poll up? Great. So I want to understand how many of you, now since all of you are here because they are interested in career counseling from one or the other standpoint, but how many of you have actually engaged in career counseling? It could be done informally, it could be done formally, it could be done casually as well. No issues. It could have been done professionally also, since a lot of you are career counselors. But how many of you have actually engaged in career counseling informally as well? Some of your counselors, I'm sure you have done it formally, but for those who haven't, we want to understand how many of you have engaged informally in career counseling so far. And of course, out of your personal interest. We can stop the poll in another 5 seconds, Abhishek, and publish the results. Wow. So we have 84% of you who have actually engaged in informal career counseling out of your personal interest. I'm also adding, and I'm sure that there have been a lot of you who have formally also engaged into career counseling, but it's an amazing number to look at. It just shows that the level of interest and seriousness all of you have towards career counseling as a profession, and also the importance of it that we have here as well. Great. So this is going to be extremely helpful for all of you who have engaged in career counseling informally so far, or for a lot of you who wants to understand how career counseling, now let's say if I have to enter into career counseling, before that I want to understand actually career counseling hota kaise hai? how is it a career counseling is structured, how is it delivered, and how do professionals do it, right? Now, generally, if we have to do career counseling like the way our veterans, our experts in the field are doing as we speak, the career counseling process is split in 4 stages. All right. Your first stage is going to be, it always starts with self and self awareness. So we first look inwards into understanding more about ourselves as an individual, and more importantly, what our personality defines, what our areas of interest are, what our career values are, what is our learning style, and our skills and abilities, our aptitude. All of this information comprises to help us understand better about ourselves, right? If we have to understand what are we made for or what are we made for, in that case, we need to first understand what are we made of, right? After which we move on to the second stage. Once we know about yourself, and of course, there are very pertinent and very highly, very well made tools available which can help a person be more self aware. With the help of these professional psychometric tools, which are administered by a counselor, we can have a very, very deep scientific understanding about who the person is and what are they made of. After which we move to the step 2, which now helps us explore better, because once I know who am I, it's easy for me to now understand what do I want. Now, when we were talking about how we are spoiled with so many choices in careers that are available, while that's a great fantastic thing, there is also very careful exploration required among those career choices and course options that are available with us. So if we have to classify that, categorize that, there are in total 20 clusters which are available. For example, design is one cluster. We have management as another cluster. Then we have your engineering as one cluster. And then you have multiple career paths under that cluster. And under those career paths also, we have a lot of occupations and job profiles available as well. So we need to have a very, very systematic understanding of the career options available, have a proper structure as to how we will explore amongst all of these options, and how will we eventually narrow down. That is where we come to our third stage in career counseling, which is identifying. Identifying which will be the most suitable career path. So out of the different clusters, paths, and occupations available, which one is the most suitable and why? That is the most important understanding that a person can get with a professional career counselor, as to why design has come suitable for me and why business management has not come suitable for me. Both of these understandings are equally important when someone is making a career decision in a very informed way. How can one be informed? When they know the reason behind it. So if there is a certain recommendation given, as a counselor, we need to back that recommendation with proper reasons and justifications. At the same time, if a certain career is not suitable for the student or for the client, or it is not recommended for them, we should also be able to back with reasons and justifications as to why those careers are not suitable for them. Once we have clarity on narrowing down career options which are suitable and we have reasons for it, that is when now we can safely move into designing an execution plan. Just by saying architecture is a suitable career option for you and these are the reasons, it does not help the student take the next step, because they still don't know, if this is my destination, how am I supposed to sail through the journey? That is when the execution plan becomes another prime responsibility of a professional career counselor, where they help the students, they help the professionals understand how they need to get there. If someone wants to become an architect, then what is it that they need to do after their 10th, after their 12th, after their graduation, after their post-graduation, for their career advancement, what different diplomas, certifications, opportunities are available for them? What will be the proper education roadmap for them? This is where we will be able to successfully complete the stage 4 or the step 4 of career counseling. Once you have been able to successfully and carefully do all the 4 steps, you can confidently say that you can also provide career counseling like a pro. Now, I'll give you a very small example on how it exactly works. But before that, I have the 4th poll for everyone. So, Abhishek, can we have the 4th poll, please? So, this is something very important. So, please read carefully, think carefully, and then answer. All right. We might put this poll up for another additional extra 5 to 10 seconds because this is very, very important. According to you, what is the most important support required to be a successful career counselor? If you have to successfully become a career counselor, according to you, what is the most important? Is it domain knowledge? Is it certificate? Is it technology solutions? Is it business and market strategy? Is it hand holdings and supervisions for lifetime? Or do you think it is all of the above? On the count of 10, Abhishek, please publish the poll results then. I hope maximum of you have put in. Okay, superb. We have a clear majority here where 76% of you feel that all of the above solutions are required, while there are 15% of them who feels that having the domain knowledge is most important. Then we have literally 0 for certificate, technology solutions, business and market strategy, standalone, I mean. And we have 5% of you who feel that yes, dedicated hand holdings will also be the most important. Great. So let's dive into understanding the 5 pillars that can help you become a successful career counselor. So these are, and I think all the 76% of you, a big applause to all of you, because you have hit nail at the right place, because just with one of the pillars, we cannot successfully start practice or sustain the practice of career counseling. That is when all the 5 pillars are important for one to become a career counselor. Let's get into understanding that if a career counselor is following all of these 5 pillars, how can they become successful at starting their practice as a career counselor? This is where our flagship program, Certified Career Analyst Edupreneur program, comes into the picture, which is exactly designed keeping all of these 5 pillars in mind, which are essentially required for your practice and for setting up your setup very professionally. So how is it designed? Let's try to understand that when someone gets formally trained under the CCA program, how the program is actually designed for them. So while we have understood the need, we have understood how NEP is going to impact, we have also understood professionally what is the right way or one of the right ways to approach career counseling. Let's now understand that if one has to formally undergo the training to become a career counselor, then how does that look like? So you have the Certified Career Analyst Edupreneur program. The training is designed in such a way which is going to be 100% live, and the trainings are also conducted online. All right. Some of you have already asked in the chat as to how is the training structured, how is the training delivered. So I hope this slide is going to cover that question for a lot of you. Also, the group sessions that we do as a part of the CCA program is also done live for maximum peer learning and support. The one-to-one supervision sessions that happens between the trainer and the counselor are also done 100% live. So there is zero compromise on the attention that is expected and required. Plus, considering a lot of you may have parallel work commitments or business commitments, all of our live training sessions are also recorded so that you can download and keep it for your lifetime access. However, to ensure that we are not compromising on the focus, on the flexibility, we ensure that our group sessions do not exceed more than 10 participants in one batch. So the way the entire training has been designed, the way the entire training is structured and delivered, it is keeping in mind your pace. So you don't have to adapt to our pace. We adapt to your pace to ensure that there is zero compromise on the attention and the focus which is required to help you become a pro at career counseling, help you become an expert at career counseling. Now, this is how the training is structured and this is how the duration works. Now, this is a very important slide for all of you who wants to understand how the Certified Career Analyst program is going to be delivered and with what duration. So the total training is going to be for 1 month and it will definitely stretch beyond 1 month as well because there is a lot of ongoing support that goes into the place. Now, you have 1 month divided in 4 weeks. All right. In week 1, you will have live training for 7 days. That is, you will have 7 sessions over a period of 7 days. And each session will be for 3 hours per day. All right. So these are the sessions which happens in the group of 10 participants in one batch. All right. So all of your live trainings for 7 days will happen with a group of or a batch of 10 participants along with you. And each session will be for 3 hours per day. After which your complete training will move one-to-one with the trainer and it will be live with the trainer at a mutually convenient time where in week 2, week 3 and week 4, you will be engaged in a lot of case studies and practice tests to start your soft practice on career counseling. So you work with a lot of sample reports, sample case studies and practice tests, which now allows you to apply in a very, very safe environment. All right. After which we move on to the final exam, which happens every Saturday by default, and it happens online. Once you clear the final exam or the assessment, within 3 working days, you can proudly call yourself also a certified career analyst who's now expert at the domain knowledge and who's also certified in the domain knowledge of career counseling. After which, your certification, we now encourage you to start your practice on live clients, real clients. These are your clients, all right? And there will be one-to-one case supervision provided for all of your initial clients as well, so that you are able to now structure, plan, prepare your career counseling session in a very safe environment with the help of a very, very experienced supervisor to ensure that from the first session onwards, you are able to deliver a top-notch quality career counseling session for your first client and from your first client onwards itself. So this is how the entire training is going to be structured and this is how the duration is going to look like. So week 1, you have a schedule for 7 days and 3 hours per day. And week 2 onwards, it is going to be completely one-to-one and flexible as per your convenience and as per your pace. All right. Now, this is to give you a much closer look into how career counseling actually gets applicable in the sessions. All right. So for all of those who wants to understand that how analysis happens, how do we actually, narrow down on career options, and what tools are available to help us make this possible. You will know that through there are psychometric assessments and tools and tests which are available and which are very handy for career counselors. So these are snippets that we have taken from the report to give you a much closer look as to how a lot of work is happening with the help of psychometric assessments as well. All right. So the dependency on you is career counseling, but when it comes to analysis, you have a lot of tools and tests which are available that is going to aid your entire counseling process, and it's going to accelerate that even better to make it more effective. So on the left hand side, you will see there are clusters available which will help you understand that, okay, given the clusters amongst all these careers, what is the chronology of these clusters for these students? So there will be a descending order which you will see, through which you will understand that what are the top clusters which are highly recommended for this particular student, and which are the clusters which are falling literally in the bottom for the student, which means that careers that will fall under the cluster of business management, hospitality, marketing and advertising, legal services are going to come in the higher recommendation stage. Whereas careers which are falling in science, maths, engineering, arts, language, arts, agriculture, sports and physical activities, these are careers which are falling into the bottom of the cluster, which means they might not be highly suitable or recommended either. What is the reason is what we cover at the time of training as well. So you will know that why certain clusters came on top, why certain came in the middle, and why there are certain careers that actually fell in the bottom row. Now, after you have understood how to analyze the clusters, we move on to the subject recommendations as well. Subject recommendations, especially in the fourth stage of the academic structure, the 9th to 12th classes, you will now be able to help students understand and help them recommend the subjects which they can choose at the 9th and 10th grade, especially for ICSE. And even for IB board, there are more than 50 electives available. So this will help them choose what would be the right subject combinations. At the same time, this will also help you understand very strongly the streams they can select in 11th and 12th. So all of this handy understanding is available with the help of tools itself. Now, if you take a further deep dive and you further expand on just one cluster. So here I'm taking human service. Okay. Human service as one cluster has multiple career paths. You can see counseling, psychology, clinical, sociology, political science, mentor and coach, home science, anthropology and archaeology, archaeologist, as well as geography. However, you will see that just because this particular cluster is recommended doesn't mean by default all the careers falling in this cluster are also highly recommended or suitable by default. No. When we do further analysis, when you further do a deeper understanding within the, with the help of the report, you will now be able to further narrow down, further specify which careers are a top choice for them, which are not top but good options for them, which are not top good but at least optional they can recommend, and you will also see options which would come totally avoid also even if the cluster was recommended. So just because human service as a cluster or humanities is highly recommended, that does not define the career for them. We need to further deep dive as counselors, as experts. We need to further narrow down on options of career paths as well, and be able to now recommend which career path specifically within this cluster is going to be more suitable. And then we move on to occupations as well. So within counseling psychology, again, which profiles, which occupations are going to be more suitable for them. So that's how we start from clusters and we narrow down to occupations. So that's the level of precision you will be able to add in your recommendations once you are professionally trained as career counselor. And you also have tools and assessments which are there to help you design the execution plan as well. So you will see how an execution plan can be designed for 10th, 12th, graduation, post graduation, for career advancement, what subjects, courses they can take so that they are able to progress and they have a long term career clarity for a chosen career. So you will now be able to understand the amount of work, the amount of research, the amount of analysis, as well as the amount of preparation that is required for every counseling. So now you can imagine when you would be doing counseling at an informal level as compared to when a professional does a career counseling. There is going to be a stark difference between the two. So you can choose whether you want to informally engage in career counseling, which is good but not recommended, or the right way to guide someone is to guide them professionally. So that's how the entire training is designed, to ensure that you are able to see that transformation within yourself. You have a better approach on counseling, which is more professional, which is driven with the help of psychometric analysis, so that you are able to get more deeper scientific understanding how you now need to structure and deliver a very detailed career counseling session. So once you are trained, within the training, you will learn this as well, how you need to evaluate your client as well. Now, psychometric is one dimension, but there are other dimensions as well, like, family, aspirations, finances, which are also important in driving the final career choice for them. So we need to be able to evaluate as an expert from all 360-degree angles. All right. And most importantly, which we have already discussed, as an expert, you will be in a position after the training on how you can narrow down suitable career options, eliminate careers which are not suitable, and you will also be able to provide good reasons and justifications for the same. And you will also be able to now very professionally, in a structured way, design an education roadmap as well. So this is how the entire impact of training can ensure and put you into the position of a domain expert, which can further be accentuated with a certification. So all of our counselors who gets trained under the CCA program, this is the certification that each of them gets. And you can see that this is a certificate of achievement, not a participation certificate, which actually further authenticates your domain expertise as a career counselor. And it is further enhanced, the credibility is further enhanced with the dual accreditation this certificate has from BCPA India as well as from ACCPH UK. These are two very highly prestigious associations in the field of psychology that can help you become a very credible certified career counselor in this particular field. So if you are aspiring to be an expert, then definitely you could be next as well. Now, I'm sure the session so far helped you get a closer look at how career counseling actually happens vis-a-vis what was your vision of career counseling. Now, let's take a step further and let's take an insider's insight from someone who has done career counseling themselves. All right. Just give me a second. Okay. All right. Now, so as I was saying, that if you feel that you have got a closer understanding of how career counseling happens, let's go a step forward and let's understand the perspective from a professional who has actually undergone the training and is now professionally doing career counseling at their end. And I hope Colonel Srinivasan is online with us.
Yes, Fatima, how are you today?
So let's hear it from someone who is already trained in career counseling.
Can you hear me?
Can you unmute? Superb, superb. I feel very proud when I take your name because Lieutenant Colonel Srinivasan is an armed force veteran, and he's an armed force veteran, and he is also an HR professional after he moved on from armed force services. He has a total of 39 years of experience in operations, HR management, and training, especially in field of retail, FMCG, CDIT, and jewelry sectors. He has completed his MBA from IIM Kozhikode, and a lot of us have our first innings in career. Some of us are fortunate to start our second innings in career. But Lieutenant Colonel Srinivasan is one of the very few professionals I've met who is into their third innings of the career, and that's how Life Compass 2020 has come into existence, which is a career advisory through which he has been able to counsel more than 500 students and professionals in the last 2 years. He's also a certified teacher. He's also a certified teacher of Vedic maths, and you'll be able to see his background, and he's available on LinkedIn as well. So he's here to share his insider's insight into how he looks at career counseling from someone who is now trained and practicing as a career counselor. You will be able to see the kind of work that he's been able to do from the time he has become a career counselor himself. This is a very proud achievement, actually, where in no time we have a Silvers Club and a Golds Club for our career counselors here at Edu Milestones. And Lieutenant Colonel Srinivasan swiftly moved to, reach the Silver Club. And in no time, he was able to swiftly move to the Gold Achievers Club, which means higher the number of counselings that he has done. That's when he was able to upgrade his certification as well as his accomplishments as well. So I would like all of you to join me in welcoming a very joyful and a very positive personality, Lieutenant Colonel Srinivasan. Thank you so much for accepting our invite, and thank you so much for taking out the time to spend with us today.
Thank you so much, Fatima. Good that after nearly 2 years I could meet you, even though online. But yes, we have been talking over the last.
I hope you're able to hear me.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me? Hello.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
I think there is a. I think there is a bit of a lag between
I'm able to hear
I'm
you.
speaking.
Okay. All right. I hope both of us are, yes, great. So, Colonel Srinivasan, there has been a lot of understanding. There has been a lot of, significance on career counseling and on career counselors as well. And you are now a professionally trained and a practitioner in career counseling. And you say that this is your third innings. That is something which was very interesting for me. So after your first inning, second inning, what made you particularly choose career counseling as your third innings?
Yeah, beautiful. See, I think I'm very happy you asked this question, because this is exactly what one wants to do. When I left army, I didn't know actually what to do. What do you do after only knowing about radars, guns, missiles? What do you do when you come out? So the typical way most people think is that you can go into security, facility management, career paths. And I just said, why don't I go into HR? I had not done any career awareness program or anything. I just jumped into it on sheer faith. But what I realized was over the next 16 to 18 years, I enjoyed every moment of my work there. But while I was working as a senior HR professional, a lot of people used to walk up to me and say, Srini sir, kaam mein maja nahi aa raha. And I used to wonder, why are they saying maja nahi aa raha? Mujhe to bahut maja aa raha hai. Why are they not enjoying when I'm enjoying? I knew their salaries, I knew their position. They were, in higher grades than me, but still they were saying they were not enjoying. that is when I used to give some band-aid solutions. I remember one of the things which you said, have you given some informal guidance to career counseling? Yeah, that was
Right.
a little band-aid solution. Okay. You just say, Achha, why don't you try this small certificate course in logistics? I think you should try, why don't you do a 6-month MBA course or something like that I used to give. But I was not satisfied. That is the time when I got to know about Edu Milestones. I got to understand that there is a scientific way in which I could have helped them. So just before I retired, I thought I'll come to you guys, got myself certified, and now I'm able to provide scientifically validated proof that why I could have or why a particular person should go for what kind of careers. That is the reason why I felt I should start Life Compass 2020.
Awesome. I like how you look at, giving band-aid solution and then giving a scientific valid proof with solution. Yes. I see in your background, and of course, I also know that you have named your venture as Life Compass 2020, and I see a very beautiful logo behind with a tagline that says, helping you find your true north. I'm sure there is a story to it. Please share that with us as well. How did you come up with this name?
See, like when anyone starts, I don't have any business. When I assessed myself, business or being an entrepreneur probably was in the 17th or the 18th career cluster or something like that. However, the number one career path which was given to me was HR and career counseling.
Okay.
This I'm remembering after so many years of work when I did my self-assessment as part of the test. Yeah. Great. But then once you start your business, you need to be visible. Everyone needs to know who you are. Like that old Sanskrit saying, Nahi suptasya simmasya praveshati mrigaha. A lion which is sleeping with its mouth open, no deer enters its mouth automatically. The lion has to go out and hunt. And one of the things which you probably have also spoken is a lot of marketing activity. I couldn't do much marketing activity. With my son and myself, we designed this logo. The name Life Compass comes from 3 separate things. I wanted to impact lives because now I have to plow back to society what I have done after 38 years. Compass is an instrument which we use in the army to find the magnetic north. Even if you're standing in the middle of a desert, in the middle of the night with no moon, by using your compass, at least you know which side is north. The moment you get to see north, you know which side is east, west, and south also. So you know which side I should move. So the combination of this said that I wanted to help people find direction. 2020, it was not just the year of conception, but also means good vision. I mean, a person who stands at 20 feet can see what every other person at 20 feet can see. Can I provide that kind of visibility, basic visibility? I'm not saying I'm going to give them a binocular or a telescope to see something very far, but at least see. That is basic awareness, which I thought Life Compass 2020 could give. That is what is the background of my background.
Great. And I'm sure your energy totally adds to it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
So, I wanted to clarify this for everyone. This is something that we had clarified in the start as well, that career counseling does not require you to come from a psychology as a background. And we have Colonel Srinivasan, who's a live example, who does not come from a psychology background, rather comes from an army and an HR background. So if we have to put qualification, at one side for now, and if we focus more on the qualities, so according to you, what attributes or qualities would make someone a good career counselor, where we can, easily identify, कि अच्छा ये qualities मुझ में है, so I can become a career counselor as well.
Well, without doubt, having a psychology background will make a great difference, because when we are doing the training at that time, when people are talking about 16 personalities or the John Highland's interest inventory and things like that, there are certain times when you can ask questions to improve your. There are 2-3 things, however, without any psychology background, which I don't have presently. What I personally feel is before you go into the counseling, we must understand the technicalities of what is being taught. Unless we understand what are the 16 personalities, unless we understand the interest inventory, unless we are not we do not understand the Mark's learning style and what does each thing mean. So you need to study a little. You must become an expert at least in all this. So one must read a lot before just jumping into the first counseling. The 7-day program that you gave, I know they really made me work at 58 years of age just to pass my test. So I know that is very, very important. Okay.
So one needs to have that inclination for research.
First, a little bit for
research and reading.
Because nobody is going to suddenly believe when you say, you just imagine you are a stranger to many or all, I would say. Suddenly you say, I'm going to tell you what you have to do for the rest of your life. I don't know you. I'm seeing you for the first time on video, right? But once you explain the report, for explaining the report, you should know. And I feel that is the number one thing. Secondly, empathy is one of the major things which I have found has been a major issue. Because, see, in India, careers are still not chosen by the guys who are going to go for the careers. It is chosen by parents. It is chosen by your friends who are as lost as you, your classmates. तू कर नहीं रहा है क्या? Alliance में नहीं जा रहा है क्या? Why don't you do IIT? Third, your neighbors. Have you not sent your child for that tuition classes? Fourth, your relatives. अरे अपने घर में तो सारे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हैं, तू बच्चे को क्यों इंजीनियर बना रहे हो? Itself, because I thought I saw one of the question answers. Why don't we use, why don't we provide vocational training? And how many of us want our children to become electricians and carpenters? Because dignity of labor we have not yet. Our culture has not yet learned. However, we are not. I'm sorry if I have digressed. Our idea is to talk about careers which most agree that this is the way in which we want to send our child to. Okay. So for that we need all the support that we are talking about. The assessment helps, and then when you are explaining this with proper understanding of the report, automatically parents start changing their mind too. Many times it is change the parents' mind. The career counseling is more important. The child knows, but the parents are not ready. The child wants to be a copywriter or an editor. They want to study arts and they want to send them to engineering. Especially in Bangalore, everyone wants to be an IT engineer. It's really surprising. I must have got at least 10 of them who have come to me in the last 1 month. Okay. So I think these are things which I feel are very important as a career counselor, that you understand your subject first. You empathize with the parents and the children to understand what are their requirements, and then when you analyze and explain the things in a proper manner, you can help them really.
Absolutely. I think I second you when you say that having the inclination for research, for reading, having the right empathy again is very important. Also, just to add, I feel your own interest into actually helping someone make an informed career decision is equally important, because no amount of training is going to inject that interest in you. That is your contribution to that particular industry or the work that you're doing. Rest, knowledge and skills can always be acquired and developed, but the attitude, the interest is what you bring to the field. So identifying your interest to become a career counselor and to be able to help someone also becomes equally important.
Totally with you, Fatima. It is not like that everyone can become a pilot or everyone can become an army officer or everyone can become a doctor. I don't say everyone can become a career counselor. Okay, you should have it in you that you want to help out. Yeah.
Absolutely. So since you figured and you identified in you that yes, I can become a career counselor, and it's been around 2 to 3 years of your journey into this space. Have you seen any significant change between when you started and the time right now that we're talking about,
100%.
2020 and 2023.
100%. What has happened is, thanks to COVID, that is, I think, one of the positivities of COVID is everything became online. The moment everything became online, everyone was online. Automatically, the new age carriers have sprouted in numbers.
Okay.
Everyone is talking about AI and ML, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics. I mean, everyone wants to talk about it. Where was it 2 years back? No, it was not. Though it was part of our report, no doubt about it, but people were not asking about it. Today, everything is about digital marketing, from normal, literally, how do you call it, brick and mortar marketing to digital marketing is a major shift, which I'm noticing.
Right.
The more important part is parents have realized that they themselves know very few career paths for their children.
So that awareness is there now.
The awareness is increasing in leaps and bounds. And when they see, they also feel that they must at least find out from an expert. This requirement of expert solution, like if I have got my car to be repaired, I take it to an expert mechanic. If I'm unwell, I go to an expert, a doctor. But if I want to go for a career for the next 35 years, I go to Google. That has changed. They go to an expert. They go to a career counselor. They search for it. But are you there? Are you visible? Have you done your work? It makes a big difference.
Very, very true. Very true. And I think it's good that we have come to a stage where parents feel that, I might be an expert at understanding my child, but when it comes to my child's career, it's better I put it in hands of an expert. Otherwise, there is a potential destruction that, they can contribute to.
100%.
True. Great. So, your journey as a career counselor, how that has changed you as a person, and also your journey and relationship with Edu Milestones. It's been more than 2 years. So what is it that you would have to say about that journey as a career counselor and the association with Edu Milestones?
I'll take it in two parts. The first part is more interesting because this journey has made sure that I remain young. Because now I'm talking to 14 to 16-year-olds every second day, third day. Automatically, to keep their interest alive, I have to keep myself abreast of what is the goings on in the world, right? So I learn about new age careers. So imagine, for a continuous learner, this is what I remain, a continuous learner. So I continue to learn. I talk to young people, so I remain young. That is a major change which I have found myself. Obviously, every time I get a good review, every time somebody calls me back and says, my child is so happy, we are so relieved, it gives me a lot of inner satisfaction as a person. These are two things which I can tell you without, and this cannot be explained in words at all. Okay. The second part is, as far as Edu Milestones are concerned, very frankly, it looks as if I know all of you without having met any of you ever. I think I know all of you. I have met Vipin once, I remember, but other than that, for example, nowadays, as I keep increasing the number of counseling, referrals have started coming. I'm giving you what all Edu Milestones
very important.
In the last 2.5 years, 2 years something, I've got 87 referrals, okay, which have come to my inbox. Yesterday I got 2, including IIT, IIM engineer who has said what I'm doing is not fun. So I've started counseling professionals over. It's amazing, right? Now, these referrals, the conversion is my job. The conversion is not Edu Milestone's job. They are providing the referral, which is huge. If 87, even if I convert 20%, it's about 18 to 20 counselings, you can multiply with whatever fees you want to think that one I earn, which is coming to me on my own. Secondly, your operations team has always been super good. I think Shiju, I can't keep talking about her every time along with her team. whenever the system suddenly doesn't work, the assessment doesn't, probably there is a hang, it hangs in some students, the parent immediately pings. And all I need is to send a message to your ops team, and they are able to help me put the things right. There are
Right.
minor things. There are a lot of things where I found something different in the report I could write, and I could do it. Yeah. I always love reading Vipin's LinkedIn messages, which come every month or every week on
Right.
LinkedIn.
Every week.
What
Right.
happens is many of the things I think I know, but the moment I read his thing, I realize that I don't know. Okay, so many things I don't know. So for me, Vipin's LinkedIn post every week on, it is the voice of Vipin. I'll never forget. I get to know. I love, talking to Radha ma'am, who's been my instructor. Whenever I'm stuck with a very difficult report, whenever, there are times when I feel that I don't think I can assess the report fully. I think there's so much more. All I do is pick up a call and I get it answered as if I have all your numbers on my mobile. That is what tells me that you're so available or approachable. That is the other thing which I always find.
Thank you.
And
Great.
of course, I always talk to you. So for
Yes.
codes or issues and anything to do with marketing. So according to me, Edu Milestones has been my my back end. When I look over my shoulder, I've got Edu Milestones on my back, and it has helped me do my. And being a third innings, as I said, it is not that I'm doing it as a full-fledged business. That is morning and night I'm doing it, right? Though I'm doing a lot of counselings, but there may be people here in the audience. There are nearly 335 people who may be much younger than me, who may need this as a full-time role. They may have to work much harder than what I do, but the response from Edu Milestones will always be there. That I am very sure. This is what I feel.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think those are very, very humbling words. And, it's a fact that though it's been 2.5 years into the association with Colonel Saab, this is actually the first time we are meeting face to face. Otherwise, the virtual relationship itself has been so strong, and he has been equally reciprocative as well. And that's how, the whole relationship has also blossomed. So thank you so much for that feedback. Before I let you go, one very important question, which I feel will be very important for the audience. There are a lot of us in the audience who are also aspiring to be you, who are aspiring to, become a career counselor. Since from the time you have started your journey in career counseling, what would be your one advice for them which they should keep in mind, which will help them, or something that they need not do? One do or don't from your side.
One do is unless you are really interested in helping people. If I see it as a business, I don't think I can work. If I see that I am going to make a difference in one life every time I do a counseling, I think it will keep you going day in, day out. I always feel that I made a difference to one life by pointing them in the right direction. Because I see
second you
so
on that.
many of them lost for years on one direction, and then they come at a crossroads, and then they approach us. And then it is so difficult, to help them with the right kind of advice at that time. So the earlier the better is what I feel. They would be really.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you so much for spending that time. But, we just won't let you go right now. We would love to have you stay back, because there are Q&A also.
Yeah.
And we would love to hear your voice of Lieutenant Colonel Srinivasan during the Q&As as well.
Definitely.
All right. But for now, thank you so much for your time. We will take a short pause, and we look forward to having you back with us.
Thank you, Fatima.
Thank you so much for that interaction. It was lovely as always.
Bye. Thank you.
Chalo, take care. We'll hold on to Colonel Srinivasan for some time. In the meantime, Abhishek, can you pull up the slides at your end, please? Abhishek, can you hear me? Okay. I'll pull the screen from my side. Okay, it's there. Can you just take us back to Lieutenant Colonel's intro page, please? Because some of you were asking how to get in touch with him. This is his name, which you can find on LinkedIn. So feel free to connect with him. He's a very positive, vibrant person. So I'm sure you can take that professional network forward. We'll move to the next slide, please. So I think until now, we've got a good enough understanding of not just career counseling, but we've also got a good enough understanding of how one can become a career counseling. And we've also heard it from someone who is not just trained, but also full-fledged practicing as a career counselor, which was Lieutenant Colonel Srinivasan. Next slide, please. However, before that, we have a poll. Can we have the poll up, please? This is your 5th poll for today. Is the poll up? Great. Now, there is a poll right in front of every one of you. This is to understand according to you, what is the most important for a career counselor from a business standpoint? We can take the slide back, Abhishek, and we can have the poll up. Yeah. According to you, what is the most important for a career counselor from a business standpoint? Now, this is where we enter to understand the business side of career counseling. We understood the domain expertise. We understood how the analysis and practice can happen, how one can get professionally trained. Now let's try to understand the business standpoint. Okay. At the count of 5, we will end the poll for everyone. Okay. But I'm able to see that, there is a maximum inclination towards one answer. And that one answer is all of the above. We can have the slide back up, Abhishek, please. Where 6% of you feel that, yes, having reliable and valid psychometric assessments is also very important from a business standpoint, because your reputation, your analysis, your service quality is also dependent on what kind of tools and psychometric tests you use. So here you will be able to see that as a part of the Edu Milestone Certified Career Analyst program, you also have solutions in the form of a technology which comes to you as a ready ecosystem. This is the next generation technology that we give to all of our partners, through which they have access to all of the solutions literally at their fingertips, right? So in lieu of time, I wanted to show you one of the platforms live, but maybe we will share that with you sometime later. However, the ecosystem or the technology that we're talking about, let me see if I am able to show it to you. Maybe just quickly glance through. Abhishek, let me know once my screen is up.
Yes, your screen is up.
Okay, so now if you look at the entire ecosystem, which is given in the form of, technology, I am just pulling up one of our partners' platform, which is Career Cafe. So this is how the entire platform gets searchable on Google. At the same time, it opens up just like a website. So having your complete branding and having an online visibility so that people are able to reach out to you, you are able to make your services accessible, happens exactly through this platform, which is on your branding. So even your contact credentials, your social media handles, everything is integrated right here. There are tools available in the form of career library, where if you want to understand about any career in detail, let's say fashion design, you have the entire career library to get complete understanding about all the careers, including videos and different ways to navigate into that career. So that now as a career counselor, you don't have to be scared that what if I don't know about all the careers. You have the career library to help you exactly for that reason. You can very professionally display and project your own profile, at the same time use the same profile page to book an appointment, to display more on your credentials as a professional, your number of years of experience, the kind of work that you have done into the field so far, your reviews, testimonials, availability, all of this, ratings, everything will be projected and captured very, very professionally in the platform itself under your booking appointment. Of course, there is a student dashboard also available, where you will have access to information on colleges, courses, entrance exams. All of this will also be at your fingertips. Most importantly, having access to assessments, not just for students, but also assessments for working professionals, and having access to these assessments in different languages. So we have assessments for different age groups. At the same time, these assessments are available in different languages as well. And the entire framework of assessment that we have built is also published on OStarNet. From those who come from the psychology background, you would know that OStarNet is like the global repository where career counselors across the globe refer to OStarNet for any information or framework on career counseling. And our assessment framework from India is also published on OStarNet. You get a complete section to talk about you. You get a complete section to talk about your company, your services, elaborate on your profile. Like, Sham Chawla is a gold medalist and comes from Kendra Vidyalaya background. And all of her reviews and testimonials are also integrated into the same platform. So everything that you might require as a counselor for your business, or anything that you might require for your clients or for your students for counseling purpose, everything is inbuilt, integrated into this ecosystem, where you get a direct access to on your own branding. So all the solutions that you might require as a counselor is available, inbuilt, integrated within this system, within this platform itself. Abhishek, can we have the last poll up, please? So now you would have understood that as a career counselor, being expert on the domain is one. Having that makes you eligible for career counseling. Once you have your domain expertise, that makes you eligible for counseling. But once you have access to technology and tools, that really equips you to do career counseling as well. So here is our last poll for everyone, which reads: getting clients in career counseling requires zero to little investment. Now, since this is a statement, there is a fact or a myth, and our next speaker will be here to help us understand whether it is really a fact or a myth. So getting clients in career counseling will require zero to little investment. If you think yes, then you think it's a fact. And if you think no, then that would be a myth. So, and I see that there is a very tough fight and a competition going between the answers coming in. Literally, there is a split right now. So in the next 5 more seconds, we will end the poll and we'll see whether this is a fact or a myth from the horse's mouth. Okay, we can stop the poll and publish the results. We are literally at a 60-40, where 60% of you feel that it's a fact that getting clients in career counseling requires zero to little investment, and you have 40% who feels it's a myth that you require more time, more efforts, and more investment into getting clients. I think this would be the right time for me to call upon our speaker for today. We can have the slide up, please. Great. So to give you a closer look into how the business side of career counseling looks like, and a lot of your questions at the time of registrations also revolved around how is the business, what is the market scope, what is the earning potential, what is the market capacity, what is the demand for career counseling. And I could literally think of no person better than Mr. Vipin Prashant himself. He is the founder and the CEO of Edu Milestones, and he is one person whom I see is very deeply involved in the business and growth, not just of Edu Milestones, but also into the business growth of all of our counselors and our channel partners as well. In fact, since the last 12 years, he has personally and single-handedly trained more than 3,500 plus career counselors, as well as businesses who were then able to start and scale up their career counseling business through his support as well. And his contribution has been so instrumental that we have been able to scale up and enhance the business growth for career counselors in more than 150 cities in India and 27 plus countries, including your Southeast Asia, your Middle East, as well as Africa. And he himself is an engineer by degree, but later he went on to doing masters in business administration, where he realized that his heart lies in management and also in finance. So he has very rich experience of working with leading corporates like HSBC, ICICI, and HDFC as well. We can roll the slides as well, Abhishek. Now, I would like all of you to help me welcome Mr. Vipin Prashant, and you will be able to see the kind of work that he's been able to do in the field of career counseling has been literally instrumental, because a lot of support is required at the business front. Now, there is one thing that what we have realized in the last 12 years is one might have the domain expertise, one might have the most advanced technologies and tests and tools available with them. But at the end, career counseling is no different than any other business that is going to rely on clients. It is going to rely on business. It is going to rely on revenue as well. And he is one person who understands this the best, I feel. So let's join. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Vipin Prashant. I hope, Vipin, you're able to hear and see me. Yes, he's right here, smiling. Thank you so much, Vipin, for taking the time out and spending the time with us. And I have a lot of questions for you that has come in from the audience as well. And we'll start with the first one, which has come from our poll itself, where 59% of them says that, yes, it's a fact that career counseling requires zero to little investment. So how do you justify that, Vipin?
So it's basically, even before saying answer for that, I welcome each and every one of you. The time when this webinar started, it's been 1 hour 57 minutes, and all of you are still there, and you are trying to understand and take note of each and every word that Fatima and the chief guests are speaking. So I can understand that kind of interest what you are having in heart, and all the best for that, and thank you very much. Yes, coming back to the poll result. So looks like all of them understood. They know about it. So it is a trade-off between effort and money. All right. If you put your effort, you don't need to spend money. If you're spending money, you don't need to put that much effort. All right. So if you are ready to spend money, yes, you will be saving a lot of effort and time. If you are ready to put forth that effort and time, then you don't need to spend that much money. It is a trade-off between that. Yeah, both are possible. Both are possible. For free, you can generate leads. And by spending money, you can generate more leads. That's the whole thing.
Great. So it is definitely considered as a fact, especially when it comes to career counseling, because and I can back this very confidently, because this also works on a lot of referrals. Vipin, would you like to emphasize, because even Colonel Srinivasan also emphasized on how he's been getting referrals as and when he progressed with his practice. What is your take on that? How does referrals make a difference in career counseling?
Referrals come from your satisfied clients, right? If you are keenly looking at it, more than 95% of your reference coming from your satisfied clients who already experienced your service. They are the one who will be speaking about your service because they experience and they can speak confidently. All right. So when you are providing the service, it is very important that at the end of the session, you are going to write a review about you, about their experience in the session. And the last 5 minutes of your session, you need to ask for reference. Minimum 2 references. All right. Minimum 2 references. And there is a way how to ask for reference. Not like, please give me reference. Does not work. All right. So there is a way how to ask for reference. Anyway, I will be covering exactly the same way how it need to be asked, and how you can take references from your existing clients at the end of your session, and how you can make a note of all the leads that is generated, and you can work for next month based on that, and how you can generate leads without spending a single penny, not only through reference. There are 3-4 ways how it is possible. All right. So we discuss about this in our 4-hour marketing strategy session, which I take. So yes, that is possible. Reference is one of it. That you can generate leads for free.
Absolutely. And referral strategy, and also how to create a very stable referral network, even that gets covered very beautifully in the session, which has been very handy in applying as a proper business strategy. Now, Vipin, if we have to speak about the current scenario, the way you have seen the industry in the last 12 years, according to you, what is the demand for career counseling, not just in India, but also globally? How do you look at it?
See, the statistics wise, if you are looking at, you can understand, even for India, you highlighted in the beginning of the webinar itself, the target audience for career counseling is starting right from 8th standard to 15 years plus experienced professionals. The need is different across various stages, but everybody needs career counseling. All right.
Right.
So it may be subject selection, it may be graduation course, professional course selection, it may be post-graduation, it may be job selection, it may be the right career path choice or career change, mid-career crisis. All need career counseling. All right. All these things, they need career counseling. Now, if you are taking that as approximate percentage, how many people are there who need career counseling? India is a very young country. That means Indian youth constitutes something around 26% of the entire population. And we are speaking 15 years experienced people also. So that means 13 years to 30 years we are talking about. All right. So that comes something around 40 to 45% of the total population itself. All right. That means we are talking about 55 to 60 crore people only in India.
Right.
All right. That's why there is a need for 1.4 million career counselors. All right. And that need is now, not like future projection. The need is now. And we have lesser than 15,000 trained career counselors at this point of time. Now, we know that there is enough of a demand is there. People, only thing is, not many people are aware of it. I can say 80% of people are not aware of it. But that awareness is increasing year on year. It is increasing multifold. And when we started this 2010, we found that not even 2% of Indian population aware of career counseling as a service even exists. But now we are finding there is huge amount of search happening in Google itself for career counseling related services. That itself is giving the input, saying that the awareness is increasing like wildfire every year, and need for career counseling increasing, and need for career counselors are also increasing. Now, apart from India, they're also onboarding many counselors, career counselors from Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Africa. They're there. Obviously, we were like how 10 years back India was. Now they are facing so they are taking a lot of interest, and they are undergoing training, and they wanted to implement. They are successfully implementing it. It is like a first mover advantage for us entering into African countries and Middle East and Southeast Asia. And yes, there is a huge expansion happening in terms of career counseling awareness all over the world.
True. I'll come to the most critical question which has come in the chats and also at the time of registrations, which is how much can a career counselor earn?
Okay.
How do you look at it?
See, it is not the same pricing or standardized pricing that every counselor is following all over here. All right. In fact, there are spots, there are cities where career counselors charge higher. There are cities where career counselors charge lesser. The average pricing, I can say, for you to understand. Delhi career counselors, they charge between 6,000 to 8,000 rupees on an average. And there are counselors who charge 15,000, there are counselors who charge 4,000 also. But average 6,000 to 8,000. In Mumbai and Pune, they charge between 5,000 to 6,000. In Bangalore and Hyderabad, they charge between 4,000 to 5,000. And Chennai and Kolkata, they charge between 3,000 to 4,000. All right. But other second-tier cities, they charge between 2,500 to 3,500. Right? So it is, you can multiply it. If you want to project it how much you can earn, then you can understand that any individual counselors can provide something around three sessions per day if they are pushing, if they are completely engaged. 2 sessions per day is normal. 1 session per day is something that they can comfortably they can do. All right. So that is even one session per day if you are doing for 25 days, because not 30 days, 25 days in that case. That means 25 sessions. Multiply with the lesser number, that is 3,000 rupees. That is the potential that individual counselors can earn in a month. All right. So instead of I am saying that you will be earning lakhs together, no. You can measure it yourself, because you know how much you want to do, how much you can do at this point of time, how much you want to achieve, how much you are planning, and how much you can pursue. You can get it, but you can only calculate it.
True. So with the rise of demand and also with rising number of career counselors, while pandemic had struck, a lot of counselings would happen face to face. But with pandemic and post pandemic, have you seen a switch into the way this practice is now getting carried out? Do you see that there is a potential for career counseling to still be face to face, or can it be done online as well?
Yes, of course, the entire thing is about online. All right. So entire career counseling can be done online, right from generating lead and to implementation of career counseling to collecting payment. Everything can be done online. And that's why this is something that it's a huge advantage for career counselors when they started implementing during the COVID times. All right. Everybody was inside, and everybody was online, as rightly Colonel mentioned. Everybody was inside. Everybody was online. So whatever need they were having, they could access only through online. All right. Since career counseling is completely online, right? Lead generation to reviews. All right. Counseling and then reviews. Everything is completely online. All right. So that's why the career counseling industry grown multiple times during the COVID.
Right. That's true. So, since we're in lieu of time as well, I wanted to ask this another very important question. And this is something that has come as questions in the Q&A as well. as to when a counselor has to start their journey, or let's say now they have started counseling, how is it that they can establish that visibility for themselves? This is something Colonel Srinivasan had also emphasized, that when people are searching for you, you need to be visible in front of them. Is Vipin with us? Abhishek, can you confirm? Because I don't see Vipin on the screen.
Sorry. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So this is the last question actually that I wanted to ask, which is again very important for the counselors to know, that when they have to start their practice, let's say now they want to professionally, commercially start counseling as a business or counseling as a practice, how is it that they can establish that visibility for themselves, and how do you think they can start to get their clients initially? I know this is something that you cover very detailed in your 4.5 hours of business training session,
Yes,
but
that's why
some insights that you can share.
So that's why I'm wondering, because I need to shortly answer this, because I answered this before us.
Yes.
So now to mention it shortly. See, you can create visibility through Google, where people are searching for career counseling solutions, and you can create visibility through online directories, and you can create visibility through social media, and you can create visibility through your WhatsApp, your YouTube, those kind of platforms. You can create visibility through activities like seminars, webinars, right? And you can create visibility through your referral partners, creating the network of referral partners. And again, you can create visibility through word of mouth. Okay?
Yeah.
So there are many ways and modes and mediums available for visibility, and to onboard initial inquiries and awareness. Through awareness, you onboard the initial inquiries, and the inquiries, then you can convert and nurture them, and then you convert them to the business. All right, there is a proper process available for onboarding and nurturing, then converting. All right.
Right.
Step-by-step process. If you are not doing that, it looks like so random and so confusing. But if you are following that process, then it is so simple.
True.
So that's what we cover.
In fact, a lot of online visibility happens when people are searching for you, and this is something that we work very intensively for building the visibility for all of our partners as well. So if we have to do a simple search also on Google, where someone is searching for a career counselor in a particular location, you will be able to see the counselors listed, and you will be able to see how the EduMilestones career counselors are listed. That's how the entire search on Google works. Is there something that you want to highlight on that, Vipin, before we move to Q&A?
Yes, of course. If you are searching for career counselors, top career counselors in India, or mention career counselors in Hyderabad, top cities in India, you can see our channel partners listed in the Google itself. So even Abhishek can show it.
Yeah, in fact, I am just, quickly putting up that on. So for example, if someone is searching for, simply career counselors in Hyderabad, because this is where I am from right now while we're doing this webinar, you will be able to see after the ads, the EduMilestones career counselors are actually listed organically in the first page, first position, right after all the ads, which means a lot of organic traffic comes very handy to all of our partners who are listed for Hyderabad as a location. And you will be able to see everyone's listing, their ratings, reviews, testimonials, and directly, appointments can be booked from here itself. In fact, if you search for, for any of your cities where you're present, feel free to do that, and you will again be able to see career counselors of EduMilestones will have their proper business page listing as well as their listing on the EduMilestones site as well. If we look at, in Surat, which is like a tier 2 city, a lot of you are from Ahmedabad and Gujarat, you will see how the Google business page actually comes up first on Google search results. And again, you will see EduMilestones Career Counselors listed in Surat, again comes organically #1 when it comes to the website listing. So that's the level of business support, branding and visibility support you can expect, and all of our partners get as a part of the Certified Career Analyst Edupreneur program. Before you leave, Vipin, is there anything that you would like to add as a word of advice on the business front to the counselors who are aspiring here?
Yes, of course. The first thing is career counseling is not a commodity. Right? This is not a commodity where somebody is charging 3,000, I will be charging 2,500. I will be reducing my price and I will get that client. It will not work that way. Right? This is something that you are adding your own uniqueness. Right? Your own uniqueness, and you are highlighting the value and providing that solution to the client. Right? They pay for your solution, not because you are providing cheap. Okay? So that's why I highlighted career counseling is not a commodity. Okay? It is not a cheap service. The moment you are reducing your price, they start perceiving it that it is not up to the mark. That's why you are reducing.
Right. Right.
If you are keeping highest, then obviously people consider, okay, that is above my needs. Right. So you need to keep it nominal, but you need to give 10 times more value for the money what you are charging. Okay. So that is one thing. Second, understand your target audience. Because this is the most important thing that many of the counselors, they don't know who are the target audience. And they understand, they think that everybody is their client. And in marketing parlance, then nobody is your client. So we need to clearly understand who are your target audience and why they are coming and what is the solution they are expecting. Whether you are meeting their expectation or overachieving their expectation. Okay.
Right.
That we need to understand.
Right. Right.
So third and most important thing is about each and every counselor. Knowledge is important because this is a knowledge industry, right? So we are not manufacturing, we are not getting some raw material converting into some product. Knowledge is the most prominent thing because this is a knowledge industry. It is because you are knowledgeable, clients are coming to you.
Right.
They think that you are knowledgeable, they can get the solution, that's why they come to you. So obviously, you are very strong at that. So develop that knowledge, develop that skill. And this is going to be there for next 30, 40 years once you have this. Right? This is a profession. It is going to be with you. This knowledge is going to be with you for next 30, 40 years. So this is long term, not short term.
Correct. So definitely point noted that definitely career counseling is a knowledge-based industry and it is not a commodity. And this is a decision that, stays with you and it's a long-lasting strategic decision that one takes for their own careers. But thank you so much, Vipin, for spending your time and adding your thoughts and insights into the business side of career counseling. I am very sure that this would have helped a lot of us who are here in the audience today. Thank you once again for your time.
Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, each and every.
Thank you. Abhishek, can we have the slide back up? Because we have a lot of questions which I am able to see in the chat. I definitely understand that we are past our time, which was supposed to be 6. So what we'll do is we will move on to wrapping up. There is one last bit. Abhishek, can you take me to the last slide? Great. So as Vipin highlighted that, this is a decision that you take for 30, 40 years, because when you start on your own, this is not something that you, like a job, we look at it with a short-term vision of 2 years, 5 years. It's a long journey that for you, and we understand. And that's why the support is the 5th pillar of becoming a successful career counselor. And that 5th pillar is the support. And because your journey is long, as Vipin also highlighted, the support that you need and the support that EduMilestones offers as a part of the Certified Career Analyst program is long-lasting. In fact, it is lifetime. Whether it is on the counseling front or mentoring front or training front or supervision front or whether it is on supporting on technology or operations, whether it is on marketing and strategies, or having a dedicated business consultant for any opportunities, challenges, issues that you might face when you are starting the business or when your business is scaling up, or ensuring that because it's a knowledge based industry, we need to keep evolving as and how the industry and knowledge is also evolving. And one of the ways in which we ensure that you are also continuously increasing your knowledge is through the quarterly training. So it's not just the one-time training, it is also a lot of ongoing support, a lot of ongoing dedicated support from dedicated resources who will be assigned to you, and the quarterly trainings which we do every quarter. So for our 2023 quarter, we are having it in the month of April, which is an exclusive trainings that we do only for our global network of certified career analysts, where we take up any new theme, topic, knowledge, skill, which is the need for our partners, and that is what we take up in the quarterly trainings webinar that we do as well. So all of this comes bundled into the lifetime support of the Certified Career Analyst program, and this is one reason why we have been able to get so much of love from our own partners as well. And one of the main sources to check that is our own Google business page, where you can see more than 415 plus reviews from professionals just like you who started their journey with us and now they are practitioners in the field of psychology. And we have been able to maintain a consistent 4.9 star rating. So that's the kind of milestone that we have been able to achieve for ourselves, specifically from the support point of view. And we've been able to build our reputation purely based on the support we have been able to promise and deliver to our partners. So these have been the 5 pillars that we spoke about if someone has to become a successful career counselor. So it is your domain knowledge, certification, having access to smart technology, having understanding of the right business and market strategies, and having a solid support. So these have been the 5 pillars which we wanted to share with all of you. And that would be from my side. And I would definitely take a pause now because there are a lot of questions that we have received. I'm not sure how many of those questions we will be able to cover. But for those who are happy to stay back for Q&A, we will be picking the most common question, and I will at least target at addressing 5 questions in the webinar right now, where we will have Mr. Vipin and Colonel Srinivasan also with us. So those who are ready to stay back for the Q&A, feel free. And at the same time, any questions that we have not been able to address purely in lieu of time, you will have a dedicated business consultant reaching out to you after the webinar, so you can get your queries addressed one-to-one post the webinar as well. All right. So I hope this works out. We are a little off in terms of time schedule. I think it's also because of a lot of interaction and insights and information that we wanted to share with you. So great. I think we'll move to the first question. I'll just pick up from the Q&A. Just give me a second. Okay. We'll take the first question from Yugraj, and I think both Colonel Srinivasan and Vipin both will be able to give their own viewpoints on this question, one from a counselor's viewpoint and one is from the business viewpoint. So Vipin, we'll start with you first. Yugraj says that referrals are hard these days. It would only come after a strong rapport with our clients. So we need to have digital method of finding clients via website, landing page, promotion, FB, Insta, LinkedIn, Google Ads, seminars, workshops. So what is your take on that, Vipin?
Oh, yes, Fatima.
Yeah, so the first question is from Yugraj on the business front, which I would like to take your view as well as, view of Lieutenant Colonel Srinivasan as well from a counselor's standpoint. Yugraj says referrals are hard these days. It would only come after strong rapport with our clients. So we need to have digital method of finding clients via website, landing pages, FB, Insta, LinkedIn, Google Ads, seminars and workshops. So what is your take on that, Vipin?
See, it is not the alternate. It is not something, okay, instead of getting referral leads, we are going for social media. We should have social media presence, and we should generate leads on daily basis through social media. Reference comes after completing the session. All right. So that is a flow. You first generate the leads and enter the funnel, nurture them, convert them, make them happy, and they will give you reference. That's the flow. It's not because I'm not getting the referral leads, I'm going for social media. It's other way around.
Yeah. True, true. So social media actually helps you enter leads into the funnel, and the way you nurture with them, the way you service with them, that is what is going to give you the effect of having more referrals based on your service quality, right?
Yes.
Great. Colonel Srinivasan, what would be your take on that? Since you are a practitioner and you also highlighted on referrals, what is your take on getting referral clients?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Let the video keep coming. According to me, career counseling is a very personalized business. While digital world, we'll need everything to support us digitally. In the end, we are still going to be touching human beings. So when somebody's starting a career as a career counselor, in the first few counselings will generally come from friends, families, neighbors, relatives, etc. They are the ones, when they see your service, first and foremost, they believe you, right? They believe you that, okay, he's come to me, I know him, he will probably be able to give me a good service. The moment you provide the good service, they will start referring. I can't answer anything more than what Vipin has said. That is, entering the funnel is the first thing. Once you enter the funnel, then the cycle starts, In the meanwhile, you have to kickstart your own small social media. Create your own Instagram page. In your status, in your WhatsApp, say, I've started career counseling. Send it to groups. You are in 120 groups in WhatsApp. Say that I've started doing career counseling.
Yeah.
Deep, and once you do that, then automatically they give you review. Ask for review, which Vipin again and again reiterated. Ask for the review, which is shown on the slide. The moment others see it, they want to come back.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Correct.
That's what I would.
Correct. Great, great. Thank you so much for that insight as well. We have the next question from Vikram, who's asking, would Edu Milestones help in creating social media posts or creators? And I think, Colonel Srinivasan, since you just highlighted that very recently, what would be your take on promoting your brand through social media creatives and banners and posters?
One, the question is probably they're expecting Edu Milestones to create social media posts for you. Yes, Edu Milestones themselves, I think Abhishek sends at least 2 every week, small snippets for improving. But believe me, this is your business. So you have to create your own social media posts. Yes, help does come from Edu Milestones, no doubt. But since it is your business, we may have to do a bit from our side.
So you see that there is an impact when you have these posters and banners and creators, which is educating the audience, which is making the audience more aware about career counseling and its benefits. Is that also helping in generating leads and inquiries?
Yes, because the more you, again, this is all, I'm repeating, it is all about visibility. The more everyone sees that you are talking about career counseling, my Life Compass LinkedIn page starts talking about it. My WhatsApp says, my Instagram page says, and you are getting some ready-made pieces coming from the marketing team of Edu Milestones. Why don't you use it? As simple.
True, true. I would like to take, thank you so much for that, actually. I would like to take Vipin's view on this, because it was a collective initiative of supporting counselors with creatives and banners. So Vipin, would you like to highlight on as to why you started with that?
Yes, this is something that as a need it came from the beginning. saying that we are looking for support for making milestones for promotion of career counseling, B2C. So we started from the beginning. Every week, at least 2 banners to our design team that we are sending across. Okay.
Yeah.
So that they can use it for spreading it across their network and nurture their clients and convert them. Then we are doing it from the beginning.
Great. Great. So I think when the lead has come into the funnel, even if it is a referral lead, doesn't mean it goes into direct conversion. It still needs nurturing. It still needs engagement. And these creators and webinars and posters, even if you are not a creative person yourself or you're not a marketing person yourself, these business posters and these creative banners support you to elevate your brand and to showcase and project your services as well. So that's highly, highly critical, and we are already doing it here as a part of the support as well. We'll take okay, again, there is a question that I am taking from Dr. Anshu, who's asking, and there is one more question that has come on the training duration and the course cost. All right. So what I'll do is I'll take the training structure quickly once again. Abhishek, can you take me to the training structure and duration? And then we will talk about the program cost. So in total, the training is going to be for a month, all right, in which you have first week where you will have 7 sessions, Monday to Saturday, and one more in the coming week, which will be for 3 hours per day. And this will happen in a group of not more than 10 participants in a batch. After week 1 of scheduled group live sessions, you will now move to week 2, 3, and 4, which will be based on case studies, practice test, which will now be one-to-one with the trainer at a mutually comfortable, convenient time. So that your availability and the trainer's availability basis which your learning continues. After which we move on to reaching the milestone of clearing the exam and getting ourselves certified and getting the certification, which is dually accredited from BCPA India and ACCPH UK. Once all of this significant domain expertise, domain knowledge, and soft practice is done, it highly elevates your confidence in you to practice on real clients. But even at that point in time, you're not alone. All the research, analysis, pre-counseling, preparation that is required, you will have a dedicated supervisor until and unless you want to now do your counselings independently. So for all of your preparatory research work, analysis work, you are not alone. You will have a supervisor to support you for all of your real clients, so that you are fully prepared on what exactly you will be delivering in the counseling session. All right. And the whole objective is to make you independent at doing career counseling very confidently and very comfortably as well. And that's the objective we have been able to very successfully achieve for all of our partners. So the entire structure is very, very carefully designed, keeping in mind that this training should have an outcome of transforming you into a professional career counselor. We have the next question by Ashida. I am pursuing my PG. When I purchase the 24-hour offer, how can I do CRS course along with my PG? So Ashida, in that case, you can check with us on the schedule, all right, where we can see how we can match and work out on a schedule that is, workable for you as well. And accordingly, you can go forward with the course as well. All right, not a problem. The entire course is pretty much flexible to ensure that whether it is your education or your business commitment or your professional work commitment, it should not get hampered. We have Dr. Rupali asking time of the classes. So Rupali, the batch that is starting on the 27th of March is going to be a morning batch, which will be 10:30 to 1:30. That's going to be the batch timings. Madhu, the support is the entire support. Abhishek, can you take me back to the support slide? So Madhu, I can request you and would require you to take a snapshot or understand the slide better, because our support on the entire program is very systematically structured across all of these critical components that you might require once you start your practice, and all of this support is going to come as a lifetime support. So I hope that clears for you. Thangam is asking, is there a scale down program for only CCA certification without the platform? So if you want to only opt for training and certification, you can look at our first component, Thangam. However, if you want to opt the program with an objective of starting your practice, then the Edupreneur program is designed to help you commercially and professionally start your practice as well. Let me see if there are any. I will take one last question because it's now 6:37. So Amit is asking, Amit, this will be the last question which I will take for everyone. Will you be charging every time certain amount of support provided during counseling of clients? So for your first 5 clients, Amit and everyone, the support comes absolutely as a part of the deliverable. So there are no charges. Feel free to take support from the supervisor for all of your first 5 cases. However, the support and the way the training is designed is so intensive in practice and in application that 95% of our counselors, they go independent by the 3rd or the 4th case itself. So they don't even complete all the 5 hand holdings which they are eligible for. So in that case, however, if you need more hand holding, more support after 5 clients also, there is a provision for extending that support on that front. But 95% to 98% of our partners, they go independent and do not require the supervisor's support after the 3rd or the 4th client itself. So I hope that addressed your question as well. So thank you so much, everyone. I think we'll have to put a hard stop now because we have started getting a lot of questions on the enrollment front as well. Before I sign off, for everyone who stayed back and for everyone who joined the session as well from the start, a big thank you and a shout out to your patience. For everyone, thank you so much for showing that interest, for being with us until the end of the webinar. I hope we were able to fulfill our commitment of making it insightful and interesting and informative as well. So we hope we were able to drive that point home. And also a huge shout out to the support team at EduMilestones, who was able to bring this massive event to a successful closure. So thank you so much to the team at EduMilestones. We had Azim and Kavya on the chat. We had Abhishek and Shreyas on the entire webinar organization team. And then, of course, our eminent guest speakers for today, Lieutenant Colonel Srinivasan and Mr. Vipin Prashant. Both of you, thank you so much for spending your precious time and being with us in the webinar today. Once again, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much once again for being with us. And we look forward to having you on board with us and have a wonderful weekend ahead. Take good care.